on understanding what exactly is human personality. So a human personality is not a machine. Generally, now because we are from an engineering background, we have learned artificial intelligence, machine learning, where we take so many inputs and we, you can say, train the machine to act exactly as the human being. And sometimes it looks like that the machine is exactly acting like the human being, but still there are some differences which always lies between a human being and a machine. And what are they? I list down here some of them: thinking, feeling, and willing. Thinking, feeling, and willing. A human being, we cannot predict how he is going to act in the next moment. Whereas when we study a machine, we can predict what will be the next action of this machine. But a human being, because he has got this free will means how he wants to act, he has that capacity. He does not have any force. Even if he has force also, he may decide to act in another direction. So human beings have got this free will, whereas the webcam is not open.
Actually, I am requesting all the participants to open their webcam. Actually, then it be a very interactive and good session, face-to-face session. So participants,
Yes.
please.
Okay. So we were understanding that how human beings, they are different from machines. So this free will is only with the human beings, but not with the machines. Even in some cases, when we may say, oh, I may put human beings' next actions are actually random actions. So that randomization I can put in the machines. But again, if we try to understand that randomization also, it is again based on an algorithm and it is predictable in that sense. So human being has got the free will which can never be predicted. Maybe because somebody has lived with the person for a quite more time, maybe somebody has spent from childhood, he is living with his friend. He may predict some things कि वो next में ऐसा करेगा, वहां जाएगा, but still he cannot be completely sure that next moment my friend will act in that way. So human being has got this free will which makes him different from the machines. His behavior cannot be predicted. Next is, human beings are even having more free will in comparison to animals also. That was machines. Now coming to animals. Animals also, they also have kind of similar activities to the human beings. Animals also eat, sleep, mate, defend. All these things are there in the human beings also. In the Vedic literature, there comes a verse which says, Ahara Nidra Bhaya Maithuna Samanyahi Etad Pasubiri Samana. These four activities of eating, mating, sleeping, and defending, they are common in human beings and animals. But when we observe carefully the animals, we will find that animals do not have that much free will as the humans have. Why? If you put some food stuff in front of an animal and animal has got an urge to eat that, even if you tell him or you try to explain that animal will not stop. He will simply act out of his urge to eat. Whereas a human being, even if the food stuff is kept in front of him, if you will tell him that you can fast today or you should not eat, please, if you can hold, you can tolerate the urge to eat or you can tolerate the urge to speak. So all these things, tolerance, or we can tell all these things to only human beings. And the human beings, by exercising their free will, they can act, they can decide. Even if the food stuff, even if it is there in front of their eyes, they may fast, they may not eat it. So the human beings have got more free will, but animals, they will simply act out of their urge. They have urge to eat, they have urge to defend, to sleep, all these things. So they will simply act out of their urge. So human beings have been given the more free will. Now, if somebody has given the more free will, that means he is supposed to act more responsibly. Correct? So just like when we see in our government or administration somewhere, some people are given more luxuries, more freedoms, more comforts. Why? Because they are more responsible, right? So when somebody has been given more free will, then he is supposed to be act more responsibly. That's why we expect human to act more responsibly. There is traffic light, a human being is supposed to stop there to follow the guidelines, but an animal, he does not, we don't expect even from an animal to follow all those laws and rules and regulations. We don't expect it. Animals, they will eat whenever they want to eat. Whenever there is a urge to eat, they'll eat. Whenever there is a urge to sleep or defend, they will do that. They'll simply by their urge, they will perform the activity. But a human being need not to, even though he has a urge. What is that urge? He has the urge to, he may try to even violate the traffic laws. He may have that urge, but still he may follow those laws. So human beings are having more free will, and that's why human beings can change their life. They can alter their life. If somebody has given freedom, then only he can change his life. If there is no freedom in his life, freedom in the sense he does not have any इन बिटवीन कुछ भी स्टिमुली उसके पास आया और रिस्पॉन्स के बीच में अगर उसके पास टाइम सोचने के लिए नहीं है, हाउ ही कैन ऑल्टर हिज लाइफ. बट ह्यूमन बीइंग्स, between the stimuli and response, human beings has the time to think over that whether he should act or not. So human beings can change their life, alter their life, and we can say is malleable. He can change and alter his life. This is the first principle. Keep in mind, we'll come back to it. Next is why we get stressed sometimes. Stressed means we had some expectation in our life, but we could not get that much. How much we got and how much we expected, there is a difference between that, and that difference creates stress, right? So let us understand what we expect and what we want, all these things. Just like when you are traveling in a train, and that time in that train, why you are traveling in the train, after you'll get down from the train, there is you are having an exam of IIT. You have to write an exam for IIT. So while you're traveling in the train, there are so many disturbances. Suppose your seats are not good, bathroom is not good, the TT is not behaving well, but you have an exam for IIT when you'll get down from that. So when you get down from the train and when you go for the exam, you'll no more think about what has happened all that throughout your journey. Similarly, suppose in that same train, you had very good experience. You had very good people with you in that same cabin. You had a good TT, good seats and all that. Still, once you get down from the train, you go for your IIT exam, you will not be bothered to think so much about that. Maybe 1%, 2% you may think after getting down from the train. But mostly, you'll neither be disturbed nor be overjoyed by having such a nice journey. Overjoyed means you got so much overjoyed that you forgot that you have to write the exam for IIT. That years now also you may think that let me continue my journey in the train only. Oh, so nice train it is. So you have forgotten the goal of writing the exam. So both the situations will not disturb you. When you are going to write an exam for IIT, that is more valuable for you at present than the journey in the train. Now the journey in the train sometimes may be comfortable, sometimes may not be comfortable. That should not disturb you. And that will not disturb you actually. Actually, it will not disturb. Why? Because you have more value for IIT exam at that point of time. In a similar fashion, if we compare our life, in our life we have this to write the exam for IIT is also not the highest valuable thing in our life. Our human life itself is more valuable than being in IIT even. Our human life is even more valuable than being in the positions of an IIT or IAS and all these things. So if we'll keep that in our mind, that my life is even more important, my life as a human is even more important than being in any of the positions in this world, then I'll not get too much disturbed when something happens to my positions. My positions means, suppose today I could not get into IIT or today I could get into IIT. Both the situations should not take away me completely from the paradigm of that I am a human being. At least my human life is even more important than that. So this is another understanding that whatever the circumstances may be, our life is most valuable than any of the positions in this world. So second principles, keep it in your mind. Now the third is we have some demands. Obviously, all of us to sustain, we have some demands, bodily demands. To eat, something is required, some food is required, shelter is required, clothing is required. So for that, we have to obviously work hard. We have to survive. For that, we have to work hard. So that is called our genuine needs. Genuine needs.
Sir, your voice is not there. Yes, kindly check your mic. Still not yet. Earlier it was good, but now it is not coming. I think there is some connection issue or what. Let me just check. I think you have joined as audio. Actually, no mic option is available with you. So I think you have joined. So what you can do, you can join it again, I think, by leaving, or if there any option. Okay, so Sri Narhari Das, sir, you have joined as audio, so no option for mic is there. So kindly join us again. Okay, so let us wait for Sri Narhari Das. Am I audible or I'm also not audible?
No, you are audible, sir. You are audible.
You are audible,
Okay.
sir.
Thank you. I just talked to Narhari Das. They are coming. Yes. So let us wait.
Am I audible?
Yes,
sir.
now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for the disturbance. Okay, so we were discussing that there are some demands which are genuine demands and the other demands which are artificial demands. And we can never fulfill our artificial demands. Why? Because they are dynamic in nature. They'll always appear as if they're all in all. Let me take an example. In your childhood, you used to love toys a lot. And when somebody takes away that toy from you, you'll cry like anything, as if the toy is all in all for you. That's life for you. That's how we start thinking. As we grow, that toy becomes insignificant for us. And at the other age in our life, some other assets, maybe bike, cycle, and then at later stage, good degree, good job, or some good, some bungalow, car, all these things. So this is how our they keep on changing. These demands, which are dynamic in nature, they keeps on changing. Artificial demands are somebody who has something and we want to compare with that, and we also want to have that. Even though I don't require that, but just because my colleague told this, or it was advertised so much, or I have seen so much in the hands of other, it should be with me also. So such needs are called artificial needs. Artificial needs, why we are condemning these artificial needs? Because they are not going to be there with you always. Suppose you bought a mobile phone today, you are so much excited about it, but for how many days you'll be excited for it? 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 1 month. When it passes, you'll start feeling bored. You'll think, let me change, maybe something else I should try. So this is how these objects, the material objects, the demands which come and go, they are not our genuine needs. They are not our genuine needs. The genuine needs are more or less fulfilled easily, but we become stressed to fulfill our artificial demands many a times in our life. So why these artificial demands are created in our life? Let us understand that. I'll list down few things. First is advertisements. How much an object is advertised, maybe through TV or your Facebook and all that, or some boards are put up, and you are every day seeing them, then you're building a value for that. Every day, some of your colleagues are telling you something, the same thing, same thing, same thing. You're building a value for that. So this is how we build up a value for that object, even though it was not needed for me at that time. So they are created by simply advertisements. Just like some of your, suppose in your classroom, you are there and your name is Atul, suppose. So Atul, somebody told you that, see Atul, there is a ghost behind you. So भूत बैठा आपके पीछे. So Atul took it like lightly. Oh, शायद मजाक कर रहा है मेरे साथ. तो उसको थोड़ा डांट के, मजाक मत करो मेरे साथ. Another of Atul's friend told him again, see Atul, there is a ghost behind you. Please look carefully. So this Atul started believing a bit, and he looks little doubtfully. But still there is nothing, so he again scolds back his friend. Now like this, 10 of his friends planned to tell him that there is ghost behind you. And now Atul is in hostel alone. At night,
Yes, sir. Again, there is some issue.
Yes, sir. Again, voice problem, sir.
Your voice is not coming, sir.
audible?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. You can open that. Okay. I'm sorry. So Atul was told by many of his friends that there is ghost behind you, and just because so many of them they told him the same thing, he started believing in the fact that yes, maybe there is ghost. So similarly, we also, whatever is advertised in at a large scale in our life by so many of people in our life, so we also start believing in that fact that yes, it may be there. So this is one advertisements. The advertisements they create an artificial need in our life. Next is hunger and pain to achieve. If you are hungry for something from your childhood, and then after so many years you are given that object, you'll feel like it was very much needed in your life. For example, a child of 5 years, we told him the importance of rasgulla, that it is very sweet, it's very बहुत मुंह में जाते ही पिघलता है, इतना अच्छा होता है, वो होता है, ये होता है. All these things we told him about that food stuff. Now, but we did not provide him that. उसको दिया नहीं हमने, just उसको एक value बताया उसका. Now what happened? Every day is thinking, क्या होगा ये, क्या होगा, इतना अच्छा क्या है, इतना अच्छा क्या है. Every day. And every day he passes by the shop also, but he does not have money also to buy that rasgulla. So every day he is passing by that shop, he sees there rasgulla ki dukan, but he is not able to buy that. So his age passed 10 years, 15 years, 20 years का जब वो हो गया, तब उसके पास he has some money suppose, and now he goes to the shop and buy there. Now, how much importance he will carry for that rasgulla, that point of time, right? He will think that this was very much needed in my life, because the hunger has been created in him, that you should have this is so important, but he could not buy also for these many years. Now when he takes that object, he will feel like so happy, so happy. But another person who is having the opportunity to eat rasgulla every day, he will not get so much fascinated by if you'll give him some rasgulla, right? And this person also who has taken after 20 years, after that if he is getting every day, he may not get so much कि भाई बहुत शानदार चीज मिली है कुछ ऐसा, no, because the hunger and pain now has come down. So this hunger and pain is created in us, and that's how we start thinking, oh, it is my need. It is my need. So how much hunger and pain for some objects in our life have been created, that much we'll think, oh, it is needed for me. It is needed for me. But once it comes to me after that what happens, the graph comes down and I start feeling it was not so needed, so much needed, right? So this is how the hunger and pain creates an you can say artificial demand in our life. Now next is the greed. Because of the greed also, even though I have always sufficient, it may be Ambani's or maybe big personalities, rich personalities, or it may be poor personalities also. All of them, they eat only that much chapatis only, 3 chapati, 4 chapatis. All of them, they are eating same only. But the greed is something which induces a person to acquire more, and he does not know where to stop. And because of this, he start believing, oh, it is my genuine need. Though it was artificial need, he start thinking that it is my genuine need. Next important factor is our false ego. I'll spend more time on understanding this false ego. Ego is what identity you take. Just like you have taken the identity of a professor or you have taken the identity of a student, that is your ego. Now, ego is not bad always. Ego means there are two types of ego, false ego and real ego. Real ego is not bad, false ego is bad. Now, as if we at a fundamental or a root level, we are a human being. Now, above the identity of being a human, we have taken up so many other identities. What are those identities? I am a professor. I am a, you can say, resident of India. I am black or white. I am from this religion. I am male. I am from this college. So, like that, a person can build up so many identities above his original root identity, right? So this original root identity, which we are telling as that human being identity, we take up so many other layers of identities. Now all these layers of identities, we call them false ego. Why we call them false ego? Because they are not our permanent identities. Just like when a student enters into the college, he remains in the college for 4 years. So this identity which he has taken as an engineering student is for 4 years. After that, that identity is not there actually. Another identity, if somebody is resident of this country, tomorrow he may change his residence to another country. So his identity of residence also changes. Like that, we can see most of our identities changes in our life. So, what we should not forget always is what is our fundamental and root identity. What is that? Identity of a human being. Now, when a person starts thinking that I am no more a human being, I am above human, I am no more a human being, and I am those other identities. I am only a professor. I am only a resident of India. I am only this. And he forgets this root identity. Then he creates the problems for himself also and for others also. Take example, if a person who is a very good professor and who is completely into the identity of being a professor, he is no more understanding that he is a human being also. And if that person goes to someone who is an illiterate person, though a genuine or you can say a good gentleman also, but still he will not be able to behave with him properly. Why? Because he is not thinking himself to be a human. To behave with a person on a personal level, one has to understand his root identity that I am a human being first of all. After that, these identities may be there. Let's take one example here. I will make two statements and you to understand and introspect on those two statements. By meaning wise, अगर मीनिंग से अगर समझेंगे दोनों स्टेटमेंट को तो दोनों स्टेटमेंट्स का मीनिंग एक ही है, कोई डिफरेंस नहीं है. बट ऑन फीलिंग्स you have to understand these two statements. First statement is I am director. Second statement is I am acting as a director. First is I am a director. Second is I am acting as a director. These are the two statements. So you have to introspect a little and you have to understand what are the differences between these two. Meaning दोनों का एक ही है कि वो एक डायरेक्टर है. But what is the difference on a feeling level if he thinks like that? If he, on a feeling level, if he thinks I am director or he thinks I am acting like a director, what is the difference between these two? Some of you, if you want to say in the chat box, you may please write down, or if you want to speak, you may please speak. It will be good if you make it interactive.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In first
Please, please.
sentence where he's saying that I am director, directly or indirectly, just he is proving his power or something like that. And in second statement, when he's saying that yes, I am working as a director, it means that yes, along with this directorship and all, I have to also do something else. So he's keeping that thing also in mind simultaneously. That is my understanding, sir.
Yes, very nice, very nice. So nicely told. In the first statement, I am director, he has completely gone into the identity of a director. He is no more recognizing himself as a human being. But in the second statement, when he is telling I am acting as a director, that time he understands his root identity that I'm a human being, first of all. Now, for the time being, I don't know how many years I'll be acting as a director. So, second statement, a person who is thinking on in terms of the second statement, he will be more comfortable with if anything happens to his position of director. But the first person who is completely into the identity that I'm only director, I'm no more a human being, if something happens to his identity of director, maybe he's removed or something like that, he'll get so much disturbed, right? Or if he gets promoted also, he'll get so much overjoyed, which is also not good. A person has to be equipoised, equal in both the circumstances. Whether he gets so much happiness or so much distress, both the situations he is able to balance them. That's how you can say good gentleman should act. So a person who is in identity completely, he will be getting affected so much by the whatever is coming to him, maybe good things or bad things. So one more example I'll take here is of a drama. Suppose a person who is acting in a drama as a king. Now this person is acting as a king and another person is also there who is acting as a servant of the king in the drama. After the drama got over, this person who is king, he does not come out of his identity. He still thinks himself that I am only a king. Now other persons who have watched the drama, they know very well that he is an ordinary human being. Currently he was acting as a king. So they will treat him as an ordinary human being, but this person, he is in the identity of a king only. Still, he is thinking, I'm only king. So it will be a problem for that person to interact with the world, right? So we should understand our root identity as a human being, that we are human being first of all. Then all other layers of identities may be there, but we should not get influenced or entrapped in those other identities. We should never forget our original identity. Even if we want to now this human identity we have understood, even below, deeper to this human identity is the identity of ours being a spirit soul, that we are a spirit soul. This human identity is also for this life only, maybe 70 years, 80 years, 90 years. But there are other identities also, like animal identity is there. So the deeper identity is still the spirit soul. So this is how we can understand. And when we take up these identities, how much we are in those identities, that much will be getting disturbed, will get stressed. So this is one of the reason of our artificial needs getting built up, that is false ego. Next is perfectionism. When we are living in this life, at many instances we see, even though that activity was not so important for us, just हमें उसको बस पास करना था, फिर भी हम उसमें परफेक्ट करने के लिए लगे हुए हैं. We are working very hard to make it perfect. So in that way also, we get so much stress. We are taking so much stress for something which is not relevant. Just like if I have to cross a mountain to reach the other side of the mountain, there are two options. One is I simply make a hole, a small hole, and I pass through it. Another option is I make a beautiful tunnel, take up all the measurements, everything using all the civil engineering and all that. I make a beautiful tunnel and all that. I spend more of my time in making the tunnel, and then I pass through the mountain. So if I have to just go or I have to cross the mountain only, why there is a need to make a big tunnel and all these things? Why I should seek for perfection? I should simply make a hole and pass through it. So just like when you're traveling in the train and you are thinking of your IIT exam, you're not thinking of comfort in the train. That I should have a beautiful, very nice seat, I should have good TT, I should have good all these things facilities. No, even at the cost of traveling in a general, right, you will be traveling still with all those difficulties, because in your mind you know what is more important. You will not be running after perfection. No, I should have this kind of train only, then only I will travel. So we should not run after perfection. So we can understand in this section that artificial demands actually, they will create more stress for us. So we should be able to distinguish very well what is artificial demand and what is genuine demand. Our artificial demands should not become our genuine demands. We should always be careful of that, because more and more greed, it will become, it will turn into more and more need. It will look like as if it is needed, though it was created out of greed. I'll play a nice video now. We'll take a break of video, and this video will explain that how a person is running after happiness, thinking of so many things that this will give me happiness, this will give me happiness, and actually he ends up in stress only. Let us watch this video. Please play the. Please allow us to share the video, share the screen.
Yes, wait. Yes, I hope now you can share.
Yes, yes, we got it.
Excuse me.
Yes.
So we are not getting the visuals of video.
Yes, Sri Narharidas. So actually video is not visible. I think there It's some bandwidth problem.
Okay, sir.
Sri Naraharidas, we are not able to see video which you are playing.
Sir, not audible.
Hello. Yes, your voice is not audible, please. No, it's not audible. And I think your video was also not visible. What you played, it was not visible. So kindly play that again. And I hope our participants can understand this, and basically there may be some bandwidth situations. I hope you can understand. And we are really sorry for that. Yeah, thank you. think Dr. is telling right something. If participants kindly turn off your camera, so it may take less bandwidth at the another ends. Voice is not coming. Narhari Das.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Yes, now.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes. Now you are audible.
You can start this. Quickly. Video is not on. Okay. I think now video and audio both are coming, na?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
we have seen that video, that how
Actually,
throughout our life.
that video, actually, excuse me, the video was not visible to the participants. So I request you to kindly
Okay.
replay that video.
So okay, okay. Desktop, desktop. Amit ji, I think I'll share this video in the chat box at the end of
Okay.
this class. It may create some other disturbances, otherwise we
Okay,
will not be able to
okay.
continue.
Yeah, okay.
I'll share the YouTube link at the last. Okay. So the next thing to understand is what we do is everything we think in this or we see in this world around us. In the it is told aham mameti. Aham means I, mam iti means around me, mine. So everything whatever we see in this world, we think centered around I, me, and mine. Take for example, there is a match between India and Australia. So we'll obviously cheer for India. In India, there is a match between two states, Rajasthan and Maharashtra, suppose. If I am a resident of Rajasthan, I'll start cheering up for Rajasthan. In Rajasthan also, there are two colleges which are having this competition. So I'll cheer up for the college which I am studying in. In the college also, if I am, there are two teams, and if the team which I am in, I'll cheer up for that. And in the team also, if I am playing in the team, I will try to or will expect to be the man of the match of the team. So this is how we can observe very clearly in us. This is so much inbuilt that I, me, and my mind means everything should be centered around me. Now, there is nothing wrong in playing the game and thinking of winning the game. There's nothing wrong in that. The wrong is what? We go to any extent to get things for us. Matlab, I, me, and my mind, this should be satisfied at any cost, at the cost of even sacrifice of others. Even somebody has to sacrifice, but I, me, and mine should be satisfied. If a person goes into that, then he is lost, actually lost. Then he will get into, he will devise various means by which, by hook and crook, somehow he can arrange facilities for himself and sacrifice others, even at the cost of sacrificing others also. So, such a mentality, I, mine, we should be very careful of. We should not only be inclusive of our state, our family, our country. We should be all inclusive, including even the animals in our as a part of our family. Every part of nature we should consider it as our family. That's what the literatures describe Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that the whole Vasudha, this earth, is our family. So then there will be no disturbances. Yes, for the matter of duty, a father also has to act like a father to his child. But that does not mean that father and son are not the part of same family. Father is also part of the same family, and the son is also the part of the same family, even though their roles may be different in the same family. Similarly, in the world, there may be different roles a person may take up, but he should not forget his original identity of being a human, so that when he acts on that platform, he can easily
Again, voice problem. Yes, again, voice problem. Yes, from Naradida's side, no voice is coming. Yes, am I audible to the participants?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So you are getting the voice of Sri
No, sir.
Naraharidas?
No, sir.
Naraharidas, you are not audible again.
Hello.
Yes. Is now audible.
Okay. Okay. So we were discussing that. I think you might have seen the video now, and we were understanding that I, me, and mine. Generally, when we go into that completely and we start doing everything whatever is required for me, in that consciousness, when we work, we create problems for us also, and others also. This is in this world, there are laws of nature which are very strict. As we can see, there is a law of gravitational force, so that is very strict. It is not that every day it is changing. There are some other laws also. They always been strict. If they keep on changing with respect to time, then we cannot sciences if the laws of nature keep on changing with respect to time, because they do not change with respect to time. That's why we are able to establish some facts on on that basis. So so when we are living in this world, we are bound to follow the laws of nature, and if we act according to those laws of nature, then we can be happy. So we should not do over endeavor for something, that we go mad after doing endeavor, so much over endeavor that we ignore even other species, even other living entities. We just think of I, me, and mine. Now, this I, me, and mine can be on the level of society also, on the level of nation also, or on the level of family also. So, different levels we may think like that. So, we should be always considering this fact that everything comes under the nature, and we should take whatever is due to us. We should not unnecessarily exploit the resources of the nature. Otherwise, we'll be hit back. So now how much stress we should take? As I told you, over endeavor is which should be rejected. Stress is something like seasoning in cooking. Whatever minimum, not less also, not more also. For any activity when you are going to do, just like you are going to play for the match, cricket match, yes, little anxiety is okay, little stress is okay for that, so that you will perform well in the game there. But it is not that you are too much taking that stress. So, like seasoning, little bit it is required to motivate a person, but it should not become kind of uh, game of death or life. It should not be like that. So we should understand this is not the highest in my life. This is for the time being. I have to act in that role. So I should act. So the stress should be like seasoning in cooking. Regulated endeavor should be done. Now, next principle I want do have approach. Generally people, they have the approach have, do and be. Have, do, be मतलब, have मतलब सबसे पहले मैं, मेरे पास सारे जो positions whatever I require, I'll collect them, I'll acquire them first, and then I will work nicely and I will be happy. Generally people think like that. First I will accumulate all the assets. After accumulating the assets, I'll work well and then I will be happy. But this is not the right way of working. Right way of working is be, do, have. Happy, you should act, you should do. And when you're doing, you'll automatically acquire. When you are happily doing, you'll automatically acquire what is due to you in your life. You need not to do some extra endeavors. So to put up as if, because this nature has assigned for everyone, the resources are allocated. We should not try to extract them unnecessarily. So we should act as a matter of duty. Be happy today itself. Need not to be waiting that one day when I'll have that position, then I'll be happy. We should not be like that. Thomas Edison has seen his own factory burnt in front of his eyes. And when he was seeing that scene, he was not so much distressed and all that. He was simply watching at that and he was happily situated. He was telling, okay, again we'll start from zero. So what? This is burnt. So this is how a person should not be his happiness should not be dependent on some other objects from outside world. He should be happy, then he should perform his activities, then he'll automatically have the things which he requires in his life. Then last thing I'll cover here. This is what we have understood is the theory, various understandings about the world. But now practical, some of the solutions which we can implement along with this theory. This theory is meant for contemplation, everyday introspection you should do, you should think like that. But the solutions are spiritual solutions. And one of the most important is the sound meditation. We do sound meditation where we chant a mantra and we hear that mantra. And when you do that, chant and hear, this sound meditation has been researched in many universities, and the result have been, you can say, the outcome was very much satisfactory. Though on those students, the research has been done. So this chanting is a very much proved method from the literatures, and it is not bound to some particular religion and all that. Any person belonging to any place, they can practice this sound meditation. Even if they want to chant their own mantra, they can chant their name of God, they can chant, but they should chant and hear. Just try once this sound meditation. What we do is we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this mantra we chant and hear, chant and hear, chant and hear. So this is sound meditation. Every day if you can practice for 10 minutes, you'll find the results. Within 1 month, you'll find the good results in yourself. It has been researched in Florida State University also, that how the chanting has been has given the results very much satisfactory in their life. The stress was reduced and all that. So along with that, you can read some spiritual books also. See, spiritual books give us the higher vision of this world. Though this world is same for everyone, it is same for me also, same for you also, same for everyone, but it's only the knowledge of the person which makes this world different from for everyone. जस्ट लाइक कोई सी प्रोग्राम आपके सामने लेके आया, आप उस सी प्रोग्राम को पढ़ते ही तुरंत पता लगा लेंगे इसमें क्या एरर्स हैं, क्या इसके अंदर सब कुछ चीजें, आउटपुट क्या होगा. ऑल दैट यू कैन मेक आउट सिंपली बाय सीइंग दैट सी प्रोग्राम. But that the same C program, if you put in front of someone belonging to arts or commerce or someone who may not be aware of C programming, he will not understand. He will not able to make out why such and such English is written in this manner. So the knowledge makes a difference. So if we read the spiritual books, then it will make a difference in our vision of this world. So all of us, we see this world, but that vision is different, and that depends upon the knowledge which we have acquired. So if we read the spiritual books, that will also help us to build up the proper vision for this world. So with that, I will end here. If anybody has any question, you may please ask your question.
Namaste, Swamiji.
Namaste. Namaste.
Sir, an adult has lots of need. One of the need is biological need, and this biological need is for a body, which
Right.
stays within the body. But when this need moves from body to the mind, it makes the person sick, mentally sick. So in this case particularly, sir, what's the remedy, or what's the medicine for such kind of sickness?
So any of these misconceptions we derive, we go into needs, artificial needs and all. The solution is only these spiritual solutions. Why I'm telling you, other solutions which when you will take them, just like you simply sit silent, or somebody says कि थोड़ा rest ले लो तो उससे तो ठीक हो जाएंगे. So when you go for sleep, when you take rest, that time you may forget them for a time period, but it will not have a permanent solution for you. Again, when you wake up, the problems will be again in front of you. So if you actually want to remove them from the root, you want to be free from the misconceptions, you want to be free from the artificial needs, then you should be taking to the spiritual solutions always. And it may vary from person to person, the spiritual solutions, but we should go for spiritual solutions. Hope I answered.
Yes, sir. But while especially while I'm practicing meditation, um, I'm the one, sir, who has biggest snore. I just immediately quickly fall into sleep kind state.
Right, right.
So
So
that
that's why for this age, sound meditation is recommended. Generally, what we think of meditation is simply sitting silent. That's not. That's although at a variety of meditation, but sound meditation is what particularly for this the people of this age. Why? Because in this age, people are not in that. We have so many distractions, and immediately when we will close our eyes, we'll sleep. Actually, as you told just now. So, sound meditation is what? You produce the sound and you hear the sound. So, what will happen? Your attention will not go anywhere. You will be awake always. That's why sound meditation is particularly for this age. So, you can just for if you want to take this advice, you can take this. You can chant this Hare Krishna mantra every day 10 minutes and chant and hear. Nothing else has to be done. No thinking, nothing. Just chant and hear. And you yourself can see the results. And you can share with me the results after 1 month.
surely, sir, surely.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, any other questions from the participants, please?
So, what is the food for doing when we do meditation? Then what will be the routine for food? In what will we eat in breakfast? What will we eat in lunch
Mhm.
and dinner? Can you
Okay.
suggest something and can you advise something?
Yes, yes, please. So, just like in Bhagavad Gita, it is explained that everything has been divided into three things: Satogun, Rajogun, and Tamogun. So our food also, that also comes in these things: Satogun, Rajogun, and Tamogun. So Satogun food is which is uncooked. Uncooked means fruits, and directly when we take the grains and all that, that is uncooked. So that comes under the category of Satogun. And Rajogun food is which is too much spicy, too much sour, all these things. When we go to the market, you very well know in the market you see. So that's a food in the mode of Rajogun. And then food in mode of Tamogun, which is completely stale, and so much time has passed, but still we are taking that, drinking, smoking, that kind of things. So Satogun food is what is recommended for a person who want to spiritually advance more. And it's not, see, spiritually advance, it's not only for the person who wants to have, generally people think कि spiritual advance मतलब उसको अध्यात्म की तरफ ध्यान है इसलिए उसको ऐसा फूड खाना है. No, for any person, even for that sake, material advancement also, if somebody has to do, his mind should be focused, he should be more concentrated, and for that good concentration and focus, his food also should be proper. And if he is taking the more sattvic food, then it will have impact in his focus and concentration. So if I suggest for a day, in morning we can have fruits, evening we can have salads, and the afternoon time we can have full meal nicely with grains and all that. So like that you can take and plan your meals in such a way that you don't come back again and again to the kitchen. Just like एक बार सुबह खा लिया तो ऐसा नहीं कि बीच में बार बार कोई कुछ दिया तो कुछ कुछ खाते रहते हैं पूरे दिन भर, नहीं, वो नहीं करना. Once in morning, afternoon, and evening. And evening you should take before sunrise, or sorry, sunset only you should take, so that it will be easily digested. And morning you should try to wake up before sunrise and take bath even like 6:30 you can take bath. Even if, better if you can take bath with cold water also. Though it may be looking difficult, but it's very easy by practice if you do. So like that, if you maintain your schedule in a day like this, easily you will have that advancement in both spiritual and material perspective.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.